margins, but he has done just that. He grits his teeth. He's the purest climber out of all of these three, but Powles and De Gendt have been trying to land knockout blows on each other all the way up this mountain, and neither of them have succeeded. Navarro, after all that effort, is cracked by Powles and De Gendt. De Gendt leads out Powles. It's the perfect situation, is it, for the Dimension Data man? He sits on the wheel of De Gendt. De Gent's going to have to do it alone, and he does! De Gendt is getting away from Serge Powles. This is a big moment for Thomas De Gendt. He takes the win at Chalet Renard on Mont Ventoux. He takes the mountain jersey. A brilliant ride from a brilliant rider. Serge Powles is beaten into second place, and Danny Navarro has done himself great credit to finish in third. Meanwhile, Steph Clement and Sylvain Chavanel are coming in. Well, Steph Clement and Sylvain Chavanel. For Chavanel, the former French champion, it's a big day as well. For France, this is a big occasion, but it's not the result that they would have wanted. They're going to pick up 4th and 5th. Oh, well, that was brilliant by De Gendt. I mean, he did all the work animating that race.
And he also took the points. He went across the Mere Grand Perk line, the mountains classification points, so that's perhaps what they were discussing going into the corner. He probably said he was going to take those points.
Richie Porte goes to the front of the GC battle with Bauke Mollema, the surprise candidates in that elite selection, and it's a terrible day for Nairo Quintana. He tried to respond to that attack from Bauke Mollema and let it work for him, and now he's dependent on Alejandro Valverde to bring it all back, and they've gone. He looks up the road, there's no sight of that group, and Mollema has gone over the top of Porte and Froome now. So Mollema is attacking the yellow jersey. He did it in Arcalis, and Chris Froome was able to respond, and this is a supreme show of confidence from the Dutchman. He's just gone over the top of them. He's opened up a tiny gap, but he's not got away. And Richie Porte, well, he's locked onto Chris Froome's wheel, and he's still looking strong.
Well, he could be riding himself into second place here, Bauke Mollema. He's only 56 seconds behind Chris Froome, and he's 28 seconds behind Adam Yates, who's in second place, who's in this group.
Restore order at the front. The yellow jersey does just that. He gets back onto the front, but Mollema looks like he's up for more. He don't think he's finished just yet. They've still got a few kilometres of climbing to go, this group. Don't forget that the De Gendt group had, what, 6 minutes or so advantage over them as they went into the final kilometres. So much more climbing still to come. Will Mollema go again? Can Porte trouble his old mate Chris Froome, or can Chris Froome stamp his authority all over this bike race? Well, Porte goes now. Is that an attack, or just going to the front and just increasing the pace a little?
They have to try, and they can't keep attacking each other. They need to just find and work as three. As Adam Yates has realised the danger now, he understands that he's going to lose his podium if he doesn't accelerate now. Well, not his podium, but his second place. But Richie Porte, he's the one that has most to gain now, considering he's lost so much time. He needs to distance all those rivals.
Well, when he punctured and lost time in the opening week, the opening days of this Tour de France, he said it's a disaster. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. He has banished his ill fortune. He has clearly stated that he is the best rider in the team, and TJ Van Garderen is second best. And look at this. Bert-Jan Lindemann is bouncing over the line. That's the effort. And there's been a crash further back down the road. There has been a crash, and it's involved Bauke Mollema, I can tell you. We'll get pictures of it shortly, but it is involved
Richie Porte as well.
Richie Porte's been caught up as well.
So front group, the yellow jersey group has hit a motorbike.
Well, we're seeing the pictures of that incident,
or at least the aftermath, and here they're arriving into it. This is a disaster.
That is the aftermath of it. You can see the white jersey there delayed by that crash.
I can just see Chris Froome ahead on his bike, running with his bike, trying to get back on. So this is an absolute disaster. That front riders have been held up, not just held up, they've ridden into the back of a motorbike. And now there's mutual service. I'm not trying to help. Who the hell?
There's Richie Porte. His bike has, well, it's not working for him at the moment, and once again Richie Porte is losing time because of a malfunctioning bike, and this time, once again in this season that has involved numerous incidents with motorbikes, some of them, I have to say, tragic. This one is simply appalling for the race and the way that it is panned out. Chris Froome is running up Mont Ventoux without a bike. How far has he got to go?
He's got to wait for a teammate to get to him. So, my goodness, I've never seen anything like this. His bike's always broke. The team cars are so far behind. The team cars are miles behind. So he can't do anything about this at the moment because his bike is on a team car. He's got to wait for one of his teammates to get up there. There's Richie Porte, again getting held up by a car. Chris Froome can't do anything.
The yellow jersey is running up the Tour de France. He can't, well, a wheel's not going to be any good. He needs a push bike.
Well,
There's
a bike on top of the Mavic car, but that's no use to him because it probably won't fit his pedals. So,
well, here it is. Here it is. I mean, it looks like he's given up running, but
well, surely they have to neutralise the race because this is a race organisation fault. This has nothing to do with the riders. That was a motorbike of organisation. No, the motorbikes have stopped here. So what are they going to do when he starts going again? They have to clear this.
Well, a desultory wave and a whistle. Meanwhile, Fabio Aru has found himself leading up the GC group into the closing kilometre of this extraordinary climb, which has produced one of the most bizarre results you will ever see in terms of the general classification riders. The sight of the yellow jersey running up Mont Ventoux. But what about this ride from Bauke Mollema? He's the best of the rest. Aru was chasing Bauke Mollema, and now he has a neutral service bike that doesn't fit him, but at least he's up and running. Chris Froome and pedalling. Bauke Mollema finishes, and he's 5:04 down.
So he can't even clip in. Chris Froome can't even clip into the pedals. These pedals, he's going to have to take Sergio Henau's bike, which means he's going to lose 4th place, and it's a bike that's going to be about 5 sizes too small.
Well, there's Adam Yates, there's Fabio Aru, Romain Bardet, Joaquim Rodriguez and Louis Meintjes. They come over in a group of their own, and this could be a great... We're going to have to wait to see what the jury says about this. We cannot be definitive about any of these results as you see them. What we do know is that Nairo Quintana has had a bad day. He's been repeatedly attacked. Richie Porte has well... He's had a better day. TJ Van Garden's been dropped.
He's getting a spare bike. Look at him
here. The yellow jersey. He couldn't ride that bike properly. Finally, he gets his own bike. He clips in. You can see he's got 400 metres remaining to the finish line. He gets a push from his mechanic. And we're just going to have to wait to see what damage has been done to Chris Froome here and his chances of winning the Tour de France.
And Richie Porte. I mean, Bauke Mollema somehow made an escape through there because he was held up with it as well. But no, this is ridiculous. That cannot stand. The yellow jersey and Richie, the first 3 riders on GC at that point, racing the GC race, hitting a motorbike. I just don't. That's probably the 4th or 5th time we've seen an incident like that in bike races this year, and I just don't understand what's going on. The UCI needs to do something about it.
Where's the yellow jersey? We haven't got sight of him yet. Dan Martin finishes in a group better off than the yellow jersey in the company of Warren Barguil and Danny Moreno. And still no sight of Chris Froome. There's Sergio now, and he's being paced up. He's pacing the yellow jersey up, whose mind will be racing. Bauke Mollema crossed the line 5 minutes and 4 seconds down on the winner. So Chris Froome has now lost 1.5 minutes to Bauke Mollema and time to all the other riders on that mountain. He shakes his head, and all we can say is that was not his fault.
I think everybody would agree that cannot stand. That wasn't a crash, that wasn't a rider's fault, that was a motorbike that we don't know yet the story, whether a fan got in the way or whether the motorbike
stalled. That's the other issue, David. I mean, the spectators, as you've pointed out, and it wasn't in the barriered section here as Geraint Thomas finishes in the company of Pierre Rolland. It wasn't in the open section where it was in the open section where the spectators were all over the road, and I just wonder whether spectators have got involved and caused this accident. Now, this is what happened. We've got a better view of it here. So here we are. This is Richie Porte leading the yellow jersey up. There's a flag.